to our book reading session. So, we are reading the book Life in Multiverse, and we covered the chapter 1. We are on the chapter 2. We had two parts of the chapter 2. We are talking about the different dimensions above the earth. We covered three dimensions: Bhulok, that is earth; Bhuvarlok, then third one is heaven. Now we are going to the further and we are talking about the dimensions above our earth, above heaven. So let's start. Maharlok. Maharlok is part of the seven higher planetary system or Urdhvaloka, situated above the Dhruloka, that is pole star, at the distance of the 1 crore yojanas, that is 1 yojana equals to 4 miles or 10 million leagues above the pole star. This loka is inhabited by the saints, rishis, and the spiritual souls who live and meditate together in their groups. Mahaloka can also be described as a room which lies between middle three worlds of the upper worlds. It is a higher, one second, let's move to the next page. Higher planetary room composed of the three subtle elements such as the air element, ether element, and fire element. The atmosphere of Maharloka is purer than the Swargloka, that is heaven. So the atmosphere of the Maharloka is better than heaven. There are numerous layers of the creation inside the Mahaloka, as well as the differences in the time scale in these layers. The souls in the Mahaloka have a fine, subtle body. Many souls from the various solar system and galaxy resides in this world. The souls meditate earnestly in Mahaloka to go to the higher rooms, as there are no bodily attractions or body consciousness. Male and female souls remain on friendly terms and meditate together by remaining in the soul consciousness. At the time of the Kalpa Pralay, that is the dissolution, these inhabitants become aware of the impending cosmic event and immediately move to the next dimension, which is called Janloka, which is the next higher dimension above Maharloka. Maharloka does not get destroyed but is affected by the annihilation of the three worlds of earth, Bhuvarlok, and heaven. These three dimensions during this cosmic event. During the process of the destruction of the three lower world like Bhu, Bhuvar, and Swarg, these three dimensions, the intense fire element also spread up to the Maharloka, so forcing souls in the Maharloka to move up into the higher layer of the creation. Unlike the deities of the heaven, the souls here are not inclined toward the enjoyment, and they are spiritually knowledgeable and great souls. These enlightened beings are well aware of the temporal nature of the sensory pleasure of the heaven, and they know that the attraction of the heaven will lead to the downfall of their soul. This is so beautifully said. So, till now, we know that okay, there is a world till heaven. We all know about heaven. Above heaven, what is there? This everything is mentioned into the Indian scriptures. Now, if we talk about not only Indian scripture, if you have gone through the other books like a soul plan, or if you have gone through some PLR session, past life regression session, they also mentioned that the people in the PLR mentioned that they are Palladian, they come from the different dimension. There are Arcturians who came from the eighth dimension. So there are things, there are people who are having this experience and they are talking about this because they are getting awakened. They are knowing that they are beyond this body. This body is earthly body, but you are the one who is the owner of the body, and you are here temporary because this body is temporary. It's made of the earth and water element, the five element which are like borrowed from this particular planet earth. And if there is a plan of the creator of this earth to dissolve, then of course you have to leave this body because you borrowed it from here, so you have to give it back. It's very simple. The good thing is that when you die, it's your body dies, but your consciousness is still there. That's why if you see the E equals to mc square, the energy transforms, it moves, it doesn't die, it doesn't get destroyed. Of course, the energy gets depletes, decreases, but of course it doesn't die. So let's move to the next dimension, which is called Janloka. Janloka is situated above the Marloka that we already know now, at the at an expanse of the two. Oh, I have to read it. It's like a 2 crores yojana or 20 million liges above Dhruvloka lies the lower of the higher planetary sphere, or known as Janloka. This celestial room is the abode of the renowned sentient sages. The word Jan means people. So Jan is in Hindi, but what does that mean is a people. There is a great number of souls who inhabit this sphere, therefore it's called the Janloka. The noble souls in this loka lead life of the householder similar to that the life on the earth, and the creation having child also takes place. However, there is a no aspect of enjoyment in these dimensions or even in creation. The souls are not indulged in any form of desires. Here, souls practice meditation, sadhana, and dedicate themselves to the pursuit of the soul consciousness and God realization, and thereby go to the higher dimensions. So, we saw that in Mahaloka, they also do meditation to go to the higher dimensions. Now, we are in the Janloka dimension. Here, also, people wants to do the meditation and go further, grow spiritually. So, in Janloka, there are multitudes of the souls belonging to the different religions, sects, spiritual paths, and doctrines, etc. The great spiritual leader or the saints resides here, and for the sake of the upliftment of mankind, they come down on the earth and incarnate in as an avatar. It's interesting to know that inside Janloka also there are various layers of the creation. Here, one can find many temples, churches, mosques, and many other religious institutions. Okay. In a subtle form of the according to the various religious and spiritual dogmas of different types of souls residing in this dimension, the natural beauty of the landscape here is a similar to that on the earth. There are villages, cities, hills, rivers, etc. Wow. But all are in the subtle form, made of the three elements only. The ambience and the purity of the atmosphere is of this dimension inspires many souls to reside in this room of creation, even though some of those souls residing in this dimension, Janloka possesses the knowledge of the different solar systems or of galaxies, universes, etc. Here, atmosphere is much higher and purer as compared to Earth, so souls feel comfortable to stay in this room of creation. Wow, what a wonderful place! So those who like the planet Earth, so there is a wonderful place than the planet Earth, which is not temporary also. That is Janloka. There you can have the family, you have everything what you see on the earth. And it's a beautiful atmosphere, not the negative like here. Here everybody wants to control. Here everybody is behind their desires. They are so including everybody, humans. Even we are reading this book so we can analyze ourselves, that we are busy whole day in the desire of one or another. Okay, a day in Janloka. Now we'll see that how the day of Janloka is equivalent to Earth. A day in Janloka, that is a day in Jan dimension, is equivalent to 100 years on the Earth. 100 years on the Earth. 100 years on Earth. So 100 years of Janloka would be 100 multiplied by 100, right? So you will stay there, like you will have bigger life, like your lifespan will be bigger, longer over there. The lifespan of the this divine room is one ultimate great dissolution of this solar system known as the Mahakalpa Pralay. The souls who inhabit this room are religious and peaceful in nature. They pray to their favorite deity gods such as Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, or Shakti, that goddess, etc. However, mostly they worship Ma Shakti, founding father of different religions. Various spiritual master gurus and sages, rishis, all resides in Janloka. They render help and assistance to the followers of their religion and spiritual doctrine on earth, as well as they are also engaged in expanding their established religion or spiritual doctrine on earth from this dimension of creation. So that was the Jan dimension. Now we are on the next dimension, which is known as Taploka. Taploka is twice as big in its existence as Janloka. In this abode, souls are pure and enlightened beings who live in the complete indifference of their body. Taploka is the abode where science to intense spiritual practice called the tapas, and so it is known as Taploka. The souls here are in the soul consciousness state and do not have any emotions towards other souls residing in this room, since they are totally focused on their own spiritual advancement. The souls pray and or meditate on their chosen gods such as the Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, Goddess Shakti, and are always immersed in the state of the intense love towards their chosen god or deity. Taploka is located in 4 crore yojan, that is above Dhruv Loka. In these dimensions, there is a huge time difference. One day of the Taploka is equals to 10,000 years on the earth. Wow. So one day of the Janloka, the previous dimension was 100 years on the earth. One day equals to 100 years. Now your one day equals to 10,000 years. So if you're in the Taploka, then your lifespan, of course, getting longer. So let's move to this big line. Wow, so the spiritual environment is very powerful in this dimension compared to the layer below Taploka. As the soul travels towards the upper astral layers, the soul gets more power. Since each layer has greater spiritual power than the preceding dimension, so more conductive for the spiritual growth of souls. As the soul travels to the higher dimensions, the air element present in the subtle body of the soul gradually diminishes, and there is an increase in the ether element, that is Akash Tattva. The purified souls then further travels into the higher dimensions such as Brahmapuri. Wow, that is also known as Satyalok, the true dimension of truth, right? So it's very interesting. So let's move to this dimension. Brahmapuri, that's also known as the dimension of truth, are Satyaloka and Brahmaloka one of the same? Satyaloka is widely regarded as a Brahmapuri. However, one must know that the Satyaloka is the lower celestial room below Brahmapuri. This means there are several dimensional layers in any of these higher planetary spheres. Satyaloka is in the lower layer of the Brahmaloka. The ascetic souls resides here. In Brahmaloka, Lord Brahma resides with his consort goddess Saraswati. Lord Brahma is responsible for the creation of all living beings in the Brahman, that is solar system, as well as the creation of Brahmapuri, the dimension of truth. When Lord Brahma creates the Saptarishi, that seven sages, during the initial phase of the creation, that Saptarishi then created a seven dimensions of the creation from the earth till Brahmapuri. Therefore, the seven lokas, the seven dimensions are located below Brahmapuri. Okay. The soul of Lord Brahma is made of the Paramakash Tattva, that is supreme ether element. So here we are talking about the energy, which element is made, this energy being Lord Brahma, this energy being is made out of which element? Fire element, air element, ether element. But in ether element also there is a quality, the supreme quality, right? So that's what is mentioned over here. The soul of the Lord Brahma is made of Param Akash Tattva, supreme ether element, not the ether element. It's a supreme ether element. This is the abode of the truth or reality. When a soul arrives in the Brahmapuri, in this dimension, then it realizes the truth, reality of its origin. So, for example, I came from the Andromeda galaxy. Then, when I reach to this dimension, I will get to know that okay, I came here for so and so reason, and but I don't belong to this planetary system. I belong to the Andromeda galaxy. Then I know my destination. This is just an example. I'm not Andromedian. I'm not from there. For those souls who have been created with ether element, their soul journey comes to an end at Brahmaloka. So any soul which is created by Lord Brahma, created by ether element, their journey, their highest dimension is Brahmaloka, this dimension which we are talking about. They won't be able to travel any further the upper layers, and if they want, they can attain final liberation in this room by merging themselves into the Creator's soul. However, the souls made up of the supreme ether or supreme light can go further to the higher dimension. In order to go to the Vishnupuri, the next dimension, the soul needs to perform the further penance. Upon the removal of the karmic accounts and imprints of the three element subtle bodies, such as souls are free from travel to causal world, that is Karan Jagat, which is Vishnupuri, which is Vishnulok, and Satyaloka or Brahmapuri, the souls gets to know about its creator. Therefore, such powerful souls make efforts to reach their creator souls. So, as I gave the example, if I get to know that I belong to the Andromeda, then definitely my next step would be to reaching out to my place, to my creator, my parents, my father, my creator, my soul father, right? There is a vast difference in the passage of the time in Brahmaloka and on earth. 1 second in Brahmaloka is equivalent to 1 lakh years. Okay, on the earth plane. That is, this has been clearly written down in our scriptures and Purans, such as the Vishnu Puran, etc. We can understand this clearly with the help of short story given below as mentioned in the Puranas. In the golden age, the Satyuga, there was a ruler known as Kukudmi ruling over his kingdom. Sorry for the noise. So kingdom Kusasthali. When his beautiful and talented daughter Revati had reached a marriageable age, the king was not able to find a worthy groom on the earth for her. So, by using his mystic powers, he went along with the Revati to Brahmaloka in order to seek Lord Brahma's advice on this matter. However, upon their arrival, the king and his daughter found that the Brahmaji was busy watching the performance by the celestial musicians and dancers of the Loka, that dimension. So dancers of that dimension, Brahmapuri dimension. They decided to patiently wait for some time until the performance was finished. Then Kakudmi sought Brahmaji's advice for finding a suitable groom for Revati. Thereupon Lord Brahma said that in the brief period they had waited in the Brahmapuri, 27 Chatur Yugas, the 27 four yugas cycle, the 4 ages cycle is gone. 108 yugas had already been passed on earth. All the eligible princes whom Kakudmi knew would be long dead, as also their grandchildren. Brahmaji smiled and explained to the Kakudmi that time runs differently in the different planes of existence. Here, Brahmaji, the Lord Brahma, is talking about the time dilution. By the time king would reach on earth, all his wives, ministers, army, kinsmen, father, and his entire kingdom would have been wiped out by the march of the time, right? So let's see what comes next. If we calculate further, when we can arrive at the exact time of 19.43 minutes that the father and daughter had waited at Brahmaloka. So it is they waited over there around 19.43 minutes. In 19.43 minutes, what happened in the earth years? The four yugas, uh, number of yugas is already 108 cycles of yuga, 108 cycles, yugas went away, were passed away, sorry. Brahmaji concluded, sorry, Brahmaji consoled him and advised both of them, saying that if they started at the present moment, by the time they reach Earth, 28th Dwapar Yuga would be running its course, and the age of the Krishna avatar would have started. And he recommended Lord Balrama, Lord Balram, who was a divine incarnation of Sheshnag, as a suitable groom for his daughter, Princess Revati, so that Kakudmi would attain moksha at the hands of the Lord Shri Krishna. King Kakudmi was taken aback and shocked by this unexpected turn of the developments. As soon as they reached earth, King Kakudmi gave away his daughter to the Lord Balrama in marriage. There are also two more notable instances mentioned in the Puranas about the time dilation. There was a rishi named Lomesh, and he had a span of the 15 years of the Brahma life. This means that he had witnessed 5475 Kalpa Pralay. Another case is the Markandeya Rishi. Markandeya Rishi was blessed with the lifespan of the 7 days of the Brahma. This means total period of 6,408 crore years, that is 64.08 billion years on the earth, which also means that the Rishi would have 7 Kalpa cosmic event in his lifespan. So these instances are the proofs of time dilation and time travel as recorded in our scriptures. Passage of time changes as we change the dimensions or layers of the creation, which is the evident from these instances which science now tells time dilation. Isn't it wonderful? So now we are moving to the next dimension called Vishnupuri, also known as a Vishnuluka. Vishnupuri is a divine residence within the Brahmand, that is like solar system created by the Lord Vishnu, God Vishnu, divine energy of Maya. The sheer opulence of the grandeur of Vishnu Loka are unmightly magnificent. This spiritual plane is also known as the Vaikunt and is situated above Brahma dimension in the seven upper planetary system. It encloses the renowned cosmic milk ocean, that is Shir Sagar. Shir means milk in Sanskrit, Sagar means ocean. In the middle of the which Lord Vishnu rests on the Sheshnag, on the snake, the big snake which is called Sheshnag. Lord Vishnu, along with his consort goddess Lakshmi and other divine attendant of the Lord Vishnu, resides in this abode. All the personalities in this abode are themselves highly pure and divine in nature. In Vishnu Loka, in Vishnu dimension, the atmosphere is made of 50% param tattvas, that is supreme elements. Very important point, that 50% of supreme elements, including param akash tattva, that is supreme ether element, supreme air element, and supreme fire element. There is a supreme happiness in Vaikunt because everything is supreme, so of course the happiness is also supreme. The demonic soul cannot enter in this highly spiritual dimension of creation. Those souls who have unceasing devotion of Lord Vishnu, they attain Vishnu Loka at last. In the Vaikuntha Loka, there is also transcendental abode of the Sri Krishna and Radharani. Here, the Supreme Personality of Sri Krishna is always engaged with the Ras Leela with the gopis. Everybody must have known about Krishna. He always played a ras with lot of gopis who also reside here. This is the destination of the true devotee souls who worship the Supreme Personalities of Lord Rama and Lord Krishna as incarnations of Lord Vishnu. By being part of the bhakti devotion, the souls of the immersed in the remembrance of their beloved Lord, the karmic accounts of such the karmic account of such incarnation such souls are destroyed completely and they are able to enter to the transcendental abode of the Vishnupuri. Lord Vishnu's soul is made of the supreme ether element. Vishnu Loka is also called the Karan Jagat, causal world. The subtle body of the layer of the creation is composed of the 50% supreme elements and 50% three element. It's like 50-50. Vishnupuri is dominated by Rajo quality. It's known as a Rajopradhan in its essential nature. Here is the souls are the angelic form known as the Farishtas. The environment here is the Vishnupuri pervades all around with the soul enchanting sweet musical vibration invoking spiritual joy. The inhabitants of their abode are well aware of the happening of the earth as well as the future of the humanity. The soul of the causal world, Karanjagat, advise and guide the subtle world. Souls residing in the lower dimensions than the Vishnu Loka. The soul in the Vishnu Loka can travel ahead into the Shivpuri after finishing off its karmic bond of the causal body. Wow, so now we are on this next dimension, Shivpuri, that is Mahakaran Jagat. It is the abode of the Lord Shiva and his consort goddess Shakti, where they live into the higher subtle form of the Akari Roop and from here they control the functioning of our solar system. Lord Shiva is also known as the Mahadev because he is in charge of the creation of Devta godly souls. Goddess Shakti is also called Adi Shakti since it is due to the her divine power and divine force that maintains the whole solar system in perfect order. Shivpuri is also called the great causal world, Mahakaran Jagat. The soul possesses a powerful subtle body called the supracausal body, composed of the supreme elements. The world of the Shivpuri is composed of the 100% supreme elements. The mountains and rivers, etc., in the Shivpuri are made up of the supreme element. Pious souls who stay in Shivpuri, owing to their spiritual merits, are always in the state of the supreme happiness and bliss. However, After residing the Shivloka for a very long time period, souls wish to experience the ultimate real state of the soul, which is Param Shanti state or supreme peace state. Such a seeker soul then meditates on a formless or incorporeal supreme soul Shiva to attain the state of Param Shanti. It was wonderful reading this dimension. Now we have another dimension. I guess it's a last dimension, which is supreme abode. Most of the places it is mentioned that formless place of formless creator, the place of energy. Like some people say, it's a central sun. It's a sun energy. It's like a very powerful. It is the highest dimension in our solar system, and it is abode of the incorporeal supreme soul. Paramdham is also called the Amar Loka and or the eternal world of the solar system. Shiva is also known as a Par Brahma Parameshwar, Nirakar Shiva. The formless supreme soul in light form or incorporeal Shiva is the creator of the one solar system, which is the Behad Gyan, is referred to as one Brahman. The pure souls who reside in Paramdham are in the state of the beyond emotions, beyond three gunas, that is Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, beyond karmic bondages, which is incorporeal form of the supreme peace, supreme bliss. There are three forms of Lord Shiva. They are Nirakari Roop, that is powerful incorporeal supreme light form. He resides in Paramdham, the supreme abode. Akari Roop, the highest subtle form of Lord Shiva. He resides in Shivpuri, the dimension we spoke before this dimension. Sakari Roop, physical form of Lord Shiva, also known as Lord Shankar. He resides in the subtle abode of Himalaya, that is Kailash mountain. On earth, the incorporeal god Shiva cannot called Swayambhu, the self-creator. Can we say that the sun of this solar system is self-creator? No, we cannot say that, because one who has come into existence on his own or self manifested, the creator of the Nirakari Shiva is Mahashiv, who is the controller of the galaxy. The incorporeal form of the Shiva does not directly perform any karma or action, but gets the work done through other souls. Therefore, Nirakari Shiv, the incorporeal form of Shiv, does not come under karmic bondages. Nirakari Shiv gets work done through Akari Shiv Shakti. Akari Shiv Shakti or Lord Shiva and Goddess Shakti in Shivpuri, that before the dimension before we read this dimension, controls our solar system on its harmonious functioning. So, the divine form of the god Shiv Shakti perform the work of the creation Brahmand solar system through Lord Brahma, maintains and preservation of the solar system through Lord Vishnu and destruction through Lord Shankar. It's very clearly mentioned the destruction through Lord Shankar. So the creator is the one who creates also, who has a power to destruction also. Whenever the power of the incorporeal supreme soul Shiva declines, Shiva becomes Jiva. Shiv becomes Jiva, an ordinary weak soul. Further, by making intense spiritual efforts, the Jeev become again divine incorporeal Shiva. Only a soul who is created out of supreme light can go to the abode of incorporeal Lord Shiva Paramdham. On the other hand, if soul who is created from the supreme ether goes to Paramdham, then it will dissolve into the powerful supreme light. Therefore, the souls made of the Param Akash Tattva, that is supreme ether element, cannot reside in the incorporeal world of supreme light. Souls who are creation of incorporeal Shiva go to him and merge into the divine incorporeal light form and get the salvation. And so their soul journey comes to the end. If the soul desires mukti or salvation, then it merges within the incorporeal form of Shiva, and with the blissful union, the existence of the soul ceases. Wow, so beautifully. The journey into the higher dimensions continues until the soul reaches its creator. So, what is the soul journey? It ends when it reaches to its creator. Souls who have come from galaxies, universes are made up of the supreme light or the higher celestial degree. So they have more soul power, so they can continue to travel above supreme abode to galaxy or universe. Upon reaching their creator, they merge into their creator, or they can become Mahashiva or Param Mahashiva. So it was wonderful. So we have this time scale on the various dimension of the creation in terms of the human years on earth. So this is the like a timetable. So 1 year on the earth is equals to 1 day in heaven. Time period in Brahmapuri is 1 is to 10 to the power 5 second. 10 years is equals to 1 day in Maharlok, which is 1 is to 10 to the power 4 seconds. Or in Brahmalok, 100 years is less. Oh wow, there's something which we cannot even calculate. So, so 3 311.04 trillion, trillion, and billion. Wow, Mahakal Pralay, end of the period of the galaxy. Hmm. That is 10,000 years. Oh, a second. A second of what? So, there is a period which is a second of corresponding time period Paramdham. Okay, so it's a table which talks about like which talks about the time dilation. I can post this picture uh, on the community post so that you guys can have a look. But it's a wonderful information